Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign, 2025 is going to be an important year. You're going to make some big changes in how you handle your finances, including an increase of financial well-being, a lot of shift regarding what your social circles and groups of belonging look like, a great year for increasing career gains in particular, but also get rid of addiction, self-undoing. It's time to kibosh the last addiction that plagues you, or misuse of a substance, or whatever escapist thing is your worst enemy. And you have some incredible excitement going on in the chart to do with an electric current of change that's moving through all of your life. This fueled by Uranus that was activated before this year began of 25, but is still playing out like not even like an echo, like a reverb throughout 2025. I'm going to talk about how that works for you as well. So welcome, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm so excited to share this year ahead with you. By the way, just in case you just met me, my name is Lori Lothian, Western Tropical Zodiac. And using the whole sign house system, ancient astrology tools are used here. What I want to point out is that this is a shorter video, probably 20 minutes to 30 minutes maximum, that is of a longer series of videos already created to help you time your best life. And that's what I look at astrology for, is a navigational tool to help you use the sky to navigate through reality with greater success. And I did create a 2-hour video for every single sign for 2025 that is available to purchase down below. That video is a downloadable audio, a downloadable video, a video on an unlisted part of my YouTube channel for you to access all the same content, 3 forums to use it in, plus a PDF guidebook written by me just for Taurus. Now, this fundraiser is what it is. It's my every single fall. I do this in order to buy equipment for my channel, new laptop, microphones, hire timestampers, hire video editors, etc. So this is just a part of my yearly fundraiser. I don't just ask you for money. I give you something for it. So if you want to get a longer version of this, that video series is quarterly. I talk about the first 3 months, and then I talk about the next 3 months, and it's all got like timestamps below, so you can jump ahead to whatever section you want to listen to and reference it for the entire year. All right, enough selling. Let's talk about your sky. Well, first of all, let's mention this. I want you to time travel in your imagination, Taurus. Close your eyes just for a minute and go back to July 15th, 2024. Now, you may have said nothing happened July 15th, 2024, but what happened was a reset button. And that was that Mars and Uranus co-joined in the sign of Taurus, your sign. And you're probably wondering, do I listen for my sun, moon, and rising? You can listen for any of it. The sun is your purpose and career. The rising is your character you play in the game of life. So the sun could be the actor. The rising is the role the actor's playing, that kind of analogy. Or the sun can be your core self, such as a game player, and the avatar is the rising. That's one way of understanding it. And the moon is your emotional mind complex. But of course, moon can be about home, and career can be about the sun, and the rising sign can be everything about you, circumstantially. So you can go back to the reset button of Mars and Uranus co-joining on your, co-joining around 24 degrees of dramatic, like off with their head change. And that conjunction is playing out over the course of 2 years. And these are conjunctions that happen in Taurus once every 84 years. Therefore, you are in a cycle, Taurus, that is once in a lifetime. In fact, if you want to think of it this way, Uranus entered your Taurian kingdom, right? Entered your Taurian kingdom back in May of 2018, and then full-time in 2019. And you may have been very radically changed because of it, and had some big shocks to your system, because Uranus brings surprise and unexpected development, some good, some bad. I mean, what's good and bad? We interpret it through the lens of what we desire, not what's good for us. You don't always get what you want, you get what you need. And that's a Uranian motto, if you ask me. And so it's like the Tower and the Tarot. And so for you, Taurus, it could be shocking circumstances with career, if it's a son or your dad since 2000, or father figure since 2011. For your moon, you've been radically ups and down in your homes. You have been moving around a lot, some just erratic disruptions around your home life. And if it's your rising sun, it could have been any area of your life that's been disrupted. But more importantly, the character that you play is being reconceived through a freedom, invention, rebellious energy of Uranus. So what I want to also mention to you, just so you know, right, back on January 20th, 2021, Mars and Uranus co-joined at 6 degrees of Taurus. So a lot of you Taurus is closer to, in the first 10 degrees of Taurus, sun, moon, and rising, may have felt that shockwave more. And then August 1st of 2022 at 18 Taurus, Mars and Uranus co-joined. And anybody with positions, let's say 15 to 25 degrees of Taurus or 13 to 25 degrees of Taurus may have felt it stronger. Closer you were to 18, you felt it stronger in your sun, moon, or rising. But then finally, this last one, around 24 Taurus, anyone 20 to 29 degrees of Taurus felt it. The point is, you didn't necessarily feel a shock wave then, because it's a cycle that says it'll take 2 years to complete. So what began in July of 2024 will be completing itself 2 years later in the summer of 2026. So a lot of what you're experiencing in 25 is still rolling through your Taurus sky, and there will be no more Mars-Uranus conjunctions. Mars, change. Mars, decisions. Mars, actions. Mars, cuts, severs, and ends something. Uranus, surprise, shock, unexpected. All right. I'm an Aquarius rising. This was happening all the time in my 4th house. Unexpectedly, my landlord kicks me out. Unexpectedly, my landlord sells the house. Unexpectedly, I'm moving to Montreal. But for you, it's identity. Everything is in your identity field, and it's how you want to change, or your career, sun, or moon, your home life. So certainly you Taurus moons might relate to me, Aquarius rising, because that was happening in my 4th house of home. So that's number one, big thing. Number one, I just had to tell you about it. So that's the first thing you need to pay attention to. The cycle is coming to an end. I'm going to show you the sky, because now we're going to talk about some other factors that I think 4 must knows, reminding you that, of course, you will have much more detail and other things I can't cover here that are just as important, but I had to cherry pick some juicy ones for you. Let's talk about Jupiter, and let me show you the sky. And Jupiter is a planet that brings fairy godfather, Santa Claus, joy, prosperity, children, protection, luck, wealth, goodness, faith, hope, and optimism, among many other things to our life. Expands things, grows things. And Jupiter is in this part of your sky as the year begins. He's retrograde. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It means he's backtracking. It's not good. It's not bad. He's going backwards. Where is he going backwards to and from? And what's he thinking about at the time he's doing all this backtracking? He's going backwards and reconsidering as you enter this year, matters of your life that were ongoing from July 12th to July 12th to October the 9th. Oh, fuck. Excuse me. Excuse my language. Brain. From July, things that were going on around July the 12th or 15th, around that time, July the 15th, through until October the 9th. That window of time, July, August, September, October kind of thing, just early October of 2024, is the same region of sky that Jupiter has been retrograding over since October the 9th. And technically speaking, as we enter January of 2025, the ground that he's tracking back over is more like what you were thinking about doing or experiencing in your life in the month of July, mid-July to early August, what was going on. Because in essence, it's the part of your sky that you're retracking so he can go direct. And he goes direct on February 4th in your money and earnings and resources house. Now, let me say, every 12 years, you get him here in your 2nd house. Every 12 years, you get benefits from this. Go back to the time he was here last 12 years ago. That would have been 2012-13, June to June. And so you can say, did you find prosperity financially from that transit? Did you find expansion and growth in the ways you make money? Because you're doing this again. And this is a little bit different than every other time. We have other planets doing other things in the sky. Nothing is exact. Most notably, Pluto in your 10th house of career, in a whole sign flow to Jupiter in your 2nd house as this year begins. This is an indicator that you got incredible power, strength, and dominance in the career sector to create great wealth and earnings through the work you do in this world. Now, Pluto can decimate or end or destroy some kind of career path in order for something new to be born. So I don't want to say it's all perfectly, yay, but nonetheless, Jupiter is the save the day, saving grace in the second house. He's your Hail Mary pass. You won't be broke. You won't be homeless. Somehow it's all going to work out. But he also has to go backwards and deepen the bounties. That's my video I put out last year. It's called Deepen Your Bounty, so that you can plant the golden eggs of prosperity in that second house. And so what I want to tell you as an act of guidance is that between February 4th and June the 9th, go big or go home. Begin to implement things that you wish to do and create that can create prosperity. Apply for the job, start your business, put new wealth structures in place. That said, that I've noticed that Jupiter gives his most juicy blessings after he leaves a house. So he will, on October 9th, leave your second house and go into your third. So there can be a delay in seeing the prosperity, but the golden eggs are there to be hatching as you move into the rest of this year. Well, Jupiter will be in Cancer again after the 9th of June. And there is something about Jupiter here that asks you to look at what's true for you. Jupiter rules the word truth, fairness, justice, yes, but truth. And when we look at the second house, you want to be true to yourself about your values around money, about how you wish to handle your resources from an ethical, truthful, and wise way and place. So there's an introspection that's ongoing as you enter the year of 2025. It started in October and will be completing on February 2. And when that introspection is done and you backtracked, especially in January, to what you were doing in July and early August around your financial resources, now you're ready to move forward. As Jupiter is going to be also at the beginning of the year backtracking over old territory with resources, notice that he flows to a stellium in your 11th house of good spirit. That's up here. And long story short, Jupiter also says you could get some great experiences of career gains, even as you're going inwards and backwards and rethinking and revising. And allies, benefactors, and sibling one older can be very beneficial to you as you begin this year in the month of January, February. And you're kind of getting ready to go, get ready to go. What is it? Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Prosperity, I'm ready for you. And Jupiter in middle of May last year, around May the 18th through to the turnaround, October 9th, was also planting golden eggs of prosperity, savings, resources, financial abundance in your chart. So you might go back and see what seeds were planted, what golden eggs were planted. Nothing may be hatching yet. You know, I remember when Jupiter went through my second house, I created a course that I didn't teach yet. But when I did teach it, I made a lot of money. So, you know, it was a seed, right? I made the course. I taught it once Jupiter went into my third house. Okay, let's keep talking now. That's two things I've told you about, right? Saturn and Jupiter, Saturn, Mars and Uranus, and the synodic cycle that's going to radically change your life still in the next 2 years, career, home, or identity. Unexpected. You're still under the reverb of that throughout 2025, not to be underestimated. Could rear its head anytime. Probably asking, how will I know when it's going to activate? Look for the Mars-Uranus squares and oppositions as time goes on. Then those are the trigger points. Okay, the trigger points for the reset button that happened in the Taurus part of your sky. But that's a class, really. So that's the gist of it. That's why it takes 2 years to finish up. Now, the other thing you need to be aware of, and I think this is a really important one for you Taurians, is that you're going to have an eclipse energy going on in 2 different houses. It's brand new for you. Now, this is the Pisces axis of your chart, and this is also the Virgo axis of your chart. And this is every 12 years, 18 years that you get this kind of energy in your sky. So you last had it like 1998 to 1999. And then you had it again back in the day, would have been 2006 to 2008. Okay. So it's back again. And what it does is it amplifies or increases your ability to be successful in your career gains, whatever that means to you: money, recognition, fame, influence. That's expanding for worldly success. It expands the North Node and the eclipses that will happen in your 11th house of good spirit. It expands your reach in the world. It expands your social networks and groups. Sometimes just a North Node eclipse means all of a sudden you got like twice as many friends or twice as many clubs, or suddenly like your social networks have hugely expanded with destined new friendships that are, they're like soul friendships for you. When the North Node is traveling through Pisces, let me show you the sky again. When the North Node is traveling through Pisces, this energy is extremely positive for anything to do with wish fulfillment around worldly success. And so I want you to lean into the wish fulfillment realm around that as well. Now, I'm not going to delineate all the eclipses that go through here because I have already done that in a video, or I will be doing that on my channel. It's not so important which eclipses happen when. It's that eclipses will be happening here through until spring of 2026. And the node itself is here, and that's what matters. See the North Node, because you had an eclipse here in your 11th house back in September on the 18th at 25 degrees of the sign of Pisces. But the node of fate was not with the eclipse. The node of fate was still in Aries. So the delineation is different than the purity of the energy of the North Node in the sign of Pisces through January to mid 2026. And those eclipses are all about the 11th house. So wish fulfillment, long range goals and dreams, amplification, destined experiences, great benefits from a sibling one older than you. And sometimes the 11th house brings pennies from heaven, feels like a windfall is coming down from the sky and you're getting what you need. The mana is coming down upon you. Rahu North Node drives for worldly success and riches. That's part of his job. Don't forget, we are spirit playing in matter. Rahu can sometimes be greedy, like ravenous desires to achieve success without qualifying that the South Node in your 5th house asked you to go deeper into your relationship to your children, to your sexual romantic life, to go into a sort of a more soulful connection to creativity and the muse. But at the same time, the South Node depletes us there and takes our attention away from our children, away from our sex and romance, away from our entrepreneurial creative projects, because we are compelled and pushed and thrust up into the top of the sky. This is a public part of the sky. This is connected to the workhouse. This can be the colleagues and coworkers. For most Taurians, you'll be focused more on social life, more on, and then your creativity or entrepreneurial business or love and sex life or your children. You might move away from your children, or your children could move away from you with the South Node, de-nesting kids during the next year and a half after the cycle begins, if you have kids. If you're going to make a baby, it's a soulmate baby. And if you get pregnant as a man, or your partner is as a woman, or your partner is a woman and you're a man, and there's a fertility episode, a pregnancy, and it's unexpected. Why would it be unexpected? Uranus, right? North Node, unexpected pregnancy, South Node. If that happens to you, just take it easy, because this is fate. This is the nodes of fate moving in the way that you don't always get what you think you want, and you get what you need. All right. And this is not about winning money. Be careful in 2025 with speculative investments, risky stocks, gaming or gambling. With the South Node in the house of gambling, gaming, and investing and lottery wins, you're not going to do okay. So this is not a place to pursue actively. Okay, that's not the story here. Don't go there. It will not be good. You will not enjoy this. So risk taking financially is not rewarded at this stage of your story in 2025. Just keep that in mind. Now, we did talk about how you have Jupiter moving direct, and that's happening on February 4th to June the 9th. And so when Jupiter is direct and we start to see the eclipses unfolding here, you're going to be feeling a lot like the energy is about the finances, because the spring eclipse let me just show that to you. Okay, I'm going to cue the chart for one eclipse for you. Okay, rather than try to spin the wheel, I'm just going to tell you this. The eclipse on March the 15th is at 24 Virgo, where that south node is asking you to surrender, release, and let go of things to do with the attention or energy you're putting into children, or the attention or energy you're putting into your creativity or entrepreneurship. But that very same south node Virgo eclipse in your fifth house will include a Jupiter direct motion. He's the god of children, squaring and witnessing the fifth house. And so this is where, with the Uranus in the first house, any of you listening here who are Taurians as a man or a woman, and pregnancy and babies is not your cup of tea. You're in a very strong February through to June accidental pregnancy window. So that's just a bit of information. For a few of you, that might be useful. Then we have the eclipse in September of 2025 at 15 degrees of Pisces in your 11th house of good spirit. This is going to indicate September of 2025, something really beautiful is trying to happen on that eclipse cycle. The reason is in September of 2025, not only do we have an eclipse, I'll try to get ahead to September. Not only do we have an eclipse in September happening in your 11th house, this is why I can't spin the wheel. See what I mean? People ask me to always, I can't pin any sign but Aries to the eastern horizon, which does not let me spin the wheel this way. All right. This whole kite in September next year, we're talking about it in the deep dive astrology videos, because everyone I talk about what this kite is doing, but I'm not going to spend time there today. September 2025, you'll notice that Jupiter has moved into your third house, and he's flowing to the eclipse up here in your 11th house. Forget the rest of the sky. I'm not going to perfect it to September 7th. Just understand that the eclipse is saying destined, fated expansion and growth and luck and opportunity in your great gains in your career, in your wish fulfillments for your long-range goals and dreams, in your social groups and alliances and friendships. And with Jupiter's support in a flowing experience from your third house, some of this might involve some exalted opportunities for travel coming up as well, that really leads to greater success in your career, great gains in your career, or greater social groups of networks and belonging. So that eclipse isn't just about September 7th. Every eclipse unfolds over weeks, months, and even years. So that eclipse will happen over time. That eclipse is a lunar eclipse, and so it indicates 6 months after next September 7th, 25. I'm recording in 2024. You may find yourself expanding dramatically in your career gains, but also maybe a change of neighborhood, change of significant changes. If you're an online social media beast, then that's where Jupiter is expanding you. Then your career is going to really blossom in your gains and your online presence, starting with the June 9th ingress of Jupiter into your third house, right? All the way through the end of the year. Now, the last thing I have to share with you guys is that Saturn and Neptune move into the sign of Aries. And that's important because having those two buggers together has not happened to you or me or anyone alive here. So we're going to go back to the beginning of this chart because I can't stand when I can't spin the wheel, guys. Just make me sing it aloud. Just picture this with your imagination, okay? There's Neptune and there's Neptune and there's Saturn. What are they going to do? They're both going to move to 1 degrees of Aries, or 0, 1 degrees of Aries, and they're going to hang out together. Neptune gets there first in February, and then Saturn follows on the 25th of May. Saturn is there till September the 1st, and Neptune's there till October 22nd. But what matters is this: the window of time when the dreams can be true and real. You can make your fantasies tangible. May the 24th, 5th to September 1st, but it's in the house of self-undoing. Neptune rules addictions, drugs, and alcohol. Saturn represents stop. Saturn represents structure. Saturn represents wisdom. And if any Taurus listening has struggled with any kind of self-undoing addiction or substance misuse disorder. This is the game changer. This is where it changes. And so this energy will be here for 4 months. Now, because the 12th house has other meanings, far off foreign shores and lands, revenue generated from them, inner life, soul work, spiritual attainment, spiritual liberation, there's other things that could happen. You might find a spiritual teaching or teacher that compels you to want to learn, to grow, to understand. And why am I in 2024? At least I could be in the right year. Why is Pluto in the wrong place? Yeah. And ultimately, the wheel won't cooperate with me, so I may as well just quit the wheel. But let's go back. Let's go back by the hours and try to get Taurus queued up again here. All right, there we go. So when Neptune and Saturn are here, May 25th, September 1st, my guidance to you: spend some time alone. Saturn is solitude. It's isolation. It's ashrams. It's time out. Neptune is visions, dreams, and fantasies. And it's great for creative time. It's great for making something happen in your creative world. It's good for writing projects for you with Mars in your third house. It's good for going back to school. You see, it's going to activate the angle of learning, skills-based or academia, ivory tower, it doesn't matter. So when Saturn goes here and Neptune's here, what kind of dream course do you want to take? What kind of learning have you always thought you wanted to do? This is the kind of thing that you could discover or be revealed to you. And during that window of 4 months this coming year, again, May 25th to September 1st. This energy will be back again, so not to worry. You're going to have it next year, starting in February, and it's going to be for about 3 years that Saturn and Neptune will be together. And so you're going to start to feel this in more intensely. You're coming into a period of solitude. When Saturn goes through the second house, you don't have to quit your marriage or your children. It's not like solitude, like running away from home. It's inner seeking, questing, getting rid of your soul contracts that don't work for you, getting rid of your childhood traumas and ancestral stories and family life stuff, growing up that holds you back. But ultimately, it's a deeper inward direction that you want to go. You find really great solitude and solace in time alone. And for some of you, ashrams, foreign lands, travels, big excursions, like big spiritual quests or pilgrimages can come to you with Saturn in this part of your sky. I would say go on a pilgrimage, go on a quest. If you want to try that, that might be something that would be perfect for you the end of May through to the end of the summer, September 1st. So I would encourage you for foreign travel, but you're traveling for Neptune, Saturn reasons and this deeper spiritual impulses within you. And Jupiter in the third house exalts your third house during the summer next year, indicating successful travel, protected travel. And same for learning. If you're called to learn something next summer, exalted learning, successful learning, good time for studies, going to courses, taking educational paths. Alrighty. So Taurus, that was just a teaser. I could go on and on. There's so much going on. Uranus, Gemini, Uranus is big, we've got something really stellar things that happen once in a lifetime, like seriously intense. The Venus star point in Aries. I can't even cover it all here. So please check out my all signs bundle down below in the description box. I haven't decided when I'm putting this out, probably just before Christmas, the series, and therefore there's probably a Santa Claus special. So I should say that now because I'm only 2 videos in. The Santa Claus special is in play. Get it down below. Ho, 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 a discount on my 2025 all signs bundle. I'm not going to discount the individual signs. They're already affordable. I'm going to discount the bundle. You can get it for friends, family. You get all 12 signs. That's 2 hours times 12, 240 hours of video content and, downloadable audios, etc. So, that's kind of fun to stocking stuffer for your friends, because what you get is a PDF guidebook. Okay. A PDF like with all the links to like the resources to download, but also the guidebook. So you can definitely stocking stuff a PDF into the stockings of your friends and family. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. That's all I have for you, Taurus. I wish you the very best in 2025. And I know it's going to be a game changer. You're still under electric shock and awe. Everything else about me is in the description box. My Patreon community, my Substack community, where everyone hangs out and we talk astrology on videos and stuff. There's ways to get in touch with me. I don't really have a lot of readings available, but I still do them. Everything is there on my website. Description box, hit the more button, scroll down. There's freebies. It's all in the description box below. Thanks, guys.
Ciao.